Well, welcome to the C-Suite Sherpas podcast, where we shine a spotlight on business owners, experts, and resources of people that you should know. Our mission is to connect you, our listeners, with experts that can help you in your personal life, professional life, and beyond. So let's go ahead and dive in and meet today's guests. So we have with us Natalia and Tatyana. So why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourselves, tell us your name of your business, and what you do, who you specialize in.
Okay, great. Well, my name's Tatyana, and we are both co-founders of Dexit, and we've specialized our interests and our efforts into creating a new branch of estate planning, and really you can call it like tech estate planning. We focus on digital accounts and assets.
Yes, and my name is Natalia, and I'm a co-founder of Dexit, and that's what we do. And when we talk about those digital assets, we're not talking just about crypto. We're talking about everything what has login online. And when actually, according to NordPass study last year, average American has anywhere from 150 to 256 accounts online. And nobody reads those terms and conditions and privacy policies. So yes, and when we're talking about digital assets, we're talking about bank accounts, we're talking about money apps, we're talking about crypto, loyalty points, airline points,
Social media.
Yeah, social media, databases, your shopping accounts, everything which has logins.
Yeah,
we take care of it.
When you mentioned in your when you filled out your kind of about you were talking about digital assets, and I thought that was really interesting because you think about it, all these accounts that we have, there's really nobody pays attention to managing their digital assets, and God forbid something happens to one of us, our loved ones are scrambling trying to figure out like what's out there, and we know from personal experience that we've had family members pass and we had no idea even where to start.
Yeah, and that's the big problem that we're trying to help solve. Not just on the executor side. If there's some planning involved in the beginning, I think it's crucial to family safety, family welfare. The executor has a huge load of work ahead of him, and access is a really big deal. And actually, the accounts themselves. So she mentioned that if we have 200 accounts online, we've actually signed 200 terms of agreements. And even though it might just be something like Venmo with a $500 balance in it, well, maybe you have a hobbyist. We've talked to folks, and he's got a Reverb account where he was buying and selling drum kits. Well, he had a $30,000 account fund sitting with Reverb. So how do you even know to get that out?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's what we look at.
So you're targeting, it sounds like you may have a couple of different profiles of people you work with. Tell us who your target profile is, and maybe who a great referral partner would be, somebody who's working with them that's seeing that they have these issues. Tell us a little bit about that.
We actually work with estate planning attorneys and financial advisors, and it is a referral partnership, and they refer their clients who are ready to talk about those digital assets. And we also take clients through our website, and those clients are coming because they want to know what they have and how to address those accounts.
Perfect. And so what is it in particular? You mentioned, you've got 200 different terms of service contracts, and you have all these different digital assets. What is it that separates you from, others in the space? Are there a lot of competitors, and how do you differentiate? What is it makes you special?
I would say that we are quite unique in the fact that we actually are, in the weeds with the actual planning for these accounts. So we have some competitors out there, but they're more considered of like a digital vault. It's a place where you can store your information, you can store your beneficiary information, maybe your photos, your videos, things of value to you, like a vault, but a digital vault. And some of those services are amazing, really, because you can create an avatar and you can kind of become immortal online. We're not in that part of the business. We're really nitty gritty on you have an account with company X. Company X allows you service Y and Z. This is what you can do with this account. Can you transfer the funds? Can you transfer the miles or the rewards? Or, do you have DNA information sitting out there that you need to close out? So there's a lot of nuances, and it's very particular per company. And that's sort of our specialty. So we kind of provide this guidance for both the planning aspect as well as the administrator. So if you're an executor and you're trying to figure out how to get into these accounts, there are certain ways you can do that based on the company policy, and we help with that.
Got it.
Plus, we also map all those accounts and we assign directives based on those terms and conditions.
Yeah, so directives would be something like you have an option to close an account or memorialize an account, so it's active but not closed. You can delete the account, you can leave it open. Maybe you're getting YouTube royalties, right? So there's a lot of different kinds of accounts out there.
No, that's fascinating. One of the I guess one of the questions I have, especially when you're dealing with a lot of tech, what's the biggest challenge you're seeing the industry's facing, and then how are you tackling that to help your clients and partners?
Right now, the biggest challenge, because it is such a big and emerging field of digital assets, nobody addresses it. It's not under estate planning attorneys wing. It's not under financial advisors wing. So that's why we have to create the third branch of estate planning.
Yeah, and I'd say partly it's the tech, because tech changes so fast. It changes faster than the laws can keep up with it. So that's sort of the challenge of the industry. And then the other challenge is just education. Like people need to know that they have stuff out there that they can take care of.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's an aha moment that didn't happen until we've had this conversation. So.
No,
Yes.
that makes sense. I mean, you're dealing with, I would imagine, there's at some point someone passes away and their family's trying to figure out what digital assets they have. And we all know it's a highly emotional time of life.
Yeah.
In the worst position to try to even tackle this. And so you're offering a service that's really going to help ease the pain and make the transition and transfer those assets over, because I think a lot of people probably lose substantial
Yes.
money and things like rewards and things that they've built up. And it's sad to see people spend their lives collecting these things, and then they move on and or pass away, and the family loses them.
It's not only losing the funds, it's losing your whole online identity, because with AI emergence now, anybody can create your personal avatar and they can assign a character who you are not in real life based on your social media pictures, videos, and conversations.
Yeah. So it's kind of like protecting your reputation.
Okay,
your
good.
family reputation, really. Yeah.
That's good. That's excellent. So one last question. So how do you see this, especially you mentioned with AI, how do you see this field evolving, and how are you staying ahead of the curve? Because, AI, of course, AI is going to change the world. Everyone says that. I remember back when the internet came out, the internet was it's taken a lot longer and been a lot slower than we all thought. But how are you dealing with, like the next 5 to 10 years and the evolution of things like AI and other technology?
I would say for us, our perspective for the next 5 to 10 years, really we need a big push for education and awareness of what this is. What is it that's out there that we should claim back? Because again, these companies own the data that we've provided them, right? So that's part of it, is the awareness bit. And also with AI, AI is amazing, but it's also inaccurate. So it'll be interesting how law, which moves a lot slower, and AI, who's super fast, and just tech that's in the middle, like how are those three going to balance out, to play a positive impact on our families? Because we have to protect our families somehow, and tech is way faster, So AI, yes, it's amazing, but it's also inaccurate, at least for now.
And we want everybody to protect their online legacy, because it's important, not just for you, for your kids, for your grandkids, for yourself, what's out there.
I agree. I agree. Well, let's listen. That was great. So let's have a little bit of fun. We have a lightning round. We're going to give answers for quick questions. And so I'm going to go ahead and say something and just give me your response. And you can both go at the same time. And it'll be easy to see if you agree or disagree. So we'll find out just how compatible or how much you agree on the same thing. So first question, coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea's better, but I go for coffee because it's convenient.
Okay, so we've got one of each. Cats or dogs?
Oh, both.
Dogs for me.
I'm a dog person. If you can only grab one thing during the zombie apocalypse, what would it be?
My car keys.
No, that's my child.
Okay, well,
I guess I should put them in the car. Yeah.
on a more serious note, favorite quote or phrase that you think about often?
That's interesting. I just recently learned it. Failure to plan is plan for failure.
Yep, that's a good one.
And mine is, in kindness, there's unity.
I love it. Awesome. Favorite movie?
Dune. I love Dune. Both of them.
Okay.
I don't even remember the last series. I keep watching series. I can't remember the name of
The
it.
man with 3,000 kids.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite series? Favorite streaming series? Yeah.
Well, a documentary, the man with 1,000 kids. I just watched.
Okay. That's the fertility doctor.
Yes.
Yes, he wasn't a doctor. He was a Dutch man with many, many kids.
He had many talents, I guess. Okay.
I've seen the previews. Favorite book or book that you're currently reading?
The only books I read is Terms of Conditions.
Yeah, we just read terms and agreements and terms and conditions all day long.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So we might be able to spice your life up with things.
Yes, that would be great.
No, terrific. So, bucket list item that you've already accomplished.
Yellowstone. Yes, Yellowstone.
Okay.
Diving. What else? There's plenty we already accomplished.
God,
Starting a
bucket
business.
list. Yeah,
Yes.
starting a business.
Yes, being a great moms, bringing great partners.
I picked back up horseback riding after 20 years of doing none of it. That was a big deal.
Awesome. And how about a bucket list item you haven't accomplished yet, but you still plan on doing?
I want to go to Tibet.
I'm not sure I will ever do jumping with the parachute. Not sure about that.
Well, maybe that's why you need to do it now, because it's scary.
First, let's get your digital plan in order.
Yes.
Sure all your documents are lined up first. before-
Yes, that's true.
And last question, biggest obstacle that you've personally had to overcome, and maybe a lesson that you learned from that.
Being a mom.
Yes, and another one, being a woman in man-run world.
That's true too.
Yes, being a business owner when everybody's a man.
As a dad of 3 amazing women, I totally agree with you. All right. So one last thing, if our viewers want to contact you, reach out, connect with you, how would they do that? What's the best way to get in contact with you?
Best way is online. Our website is dexitcorp.com. That's D as in digital, and then exit, EXITCORP.com.
We will exit you out.
Yes.
Well, excellent. So thanks for your insight and your time. It's been a pleasure to get to know you a little bit better. And we appreciate you being a guest on the podcast.
Well, thank you so much.
for
We
having
appreciate it.
us.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank
It was
you.
a pleasure. Lots of fun.